Hi everyone! Welcome to English 2-in-1, boost your English and your mind. Here, you can achieve two goals at once, improve your English listening skills and gain general useful knowledge. Or you can just relax while you are walking, cooking or doing something. Today, you will explore new English words through the intense and emotional story of Heathcliff and Catherine, set in the wild and mysterious Wuthering Heights. This tale, based on the classic novel by Emily Brontë, delves into themes of love, revenge, and the destructive power of obsession. As you follow the lives of the characters trapped in this dark and stormy world, you'll learn how their passions and conflicts shape their fates. Watch until the end, where we will explain new English words and phrases for you.
Wuthering Heights, the story of love and revenge. On a wild and windy hill, where the wind never rested, stood a dark and mysterious house called Wuthering Heights. In this house, the lives of its inhabitants were tangled together like the roots of trees hidden in the ground. Every step, every word spoken within its walls, seemed to leave a mark in the air, traces that time could not erase. Wuthering Heights belonged to the Earnshaw family, which was once full of joy and laughter. But everything changed when Mr. Earnshaw, the head of the house, brought home a strange boy he found on the streets of Liverpool. The boy was wild and mysterious, just like the forest behind the house, and he was given the name Heathcliff. This name became a symbol of pain and passion that later turned the lives of all the people in Wuthering Heights upside down. From the beginning, Heathcliff caused mixed feelings in the family. Catherine, Mr. Earnshaw's daughter, immediately felt sympathy for him. She was wild and unpredictable, just like him, and their hearts formed a friendship that soon grew into something much deeper. Hindley, the eldest son, on the other hand, hated Heathcliff from the first moment he saw him. His heart was full of jealousy and envy, and this hatred only grew stronger after Mr. Earnshaw died, and Hindley became the master of the house. Now, Heathcliff became a servant in the house that once felt like home to him. Hindley mistreated him, forcing him to do dirty work and humiliating him in every way. But Heathcliff only grew stronger under the blows of fate, his heart hardening like steel, his thoughts becoming dark and cold. Meanwhile, Catherine was torn between her love for Heathcliff and her desire for a better life. She met Edgar Linton, the son of a wealthy neighbor, who was her complete opposite. Edgar was kind, gentle, and well-mannered, and soon he proposed to her.
I love Heathcliff.
Catherine confessed to her housemaid.
He is my soulmate. But I can't marry him. He would pull me down, and I want to live beautifully, to be respected. Edgar is my chance at happiness, but why then does my heart cry for something else?
Catherine's words tore Heathcliff apart when he accidentally overheard them. He left Wuthering Heights, disappearing as suddenly as he had appeared. Catherine was heartbroken but still married Edgar, trying to find comfort in her new marriage. However, her heart could never forget Heathcliff. Several years passed, and Heathcliff returned. But he was no longer the boy the Earnshaw family had once taken in. He had become a grown man, rich and dangerous, with revenge burning in his heart. The first thing he did was buy Wuthering Heights from the ruined Hindley, who had become an alcoholic. Heathcliff took Hindley's son, Hareton, to raise, repeating the cruel cycle he had experienced as a child.
You thought you had beaten me?
Heathcliff sneered, watching Hindley sink into despair.
Now your home is mine, and I will take from you everything you once took from me.
But despite all his successes, Heathcliff found no satisfaction. His heart still belonged to Catherine, and this love became both his strength and his downfall. Meanwhile, Catherine became pregnant and soon fell ill. She could not bear the thought that she had made a mistake by marrying Edgar instead of Heathcliff. One night, when Edgar was not home, Heathcliff secretly entered Thrushcross Grange. Catherine, pale and weak, lay in bed, her eyes burning with fever.
Why did you come back, Heathcliff? Why do you torment me with your presence? I love you, always have, but our lives are cursed. We cannot be together, just as the sky and the earth cannot meet.
You are my soul, Catherine.
Heathcliff replied, his voice trembling with suppressed emotions.
You betrayed me, but I cannot forget you. I have returned to destroy everything that stands between us, even if it means destroying everything we know.
His words sounded like a vow, and Catherine, exhausted and worn out, could no longer fight. The next morning she was gone. Heathcliff did not get to say goodbye, did not get to tell her everything that was on his heart. After Catherine's death, Heathcliff lost himself completely. He became a cruel and ruthless man, driven only by a thirst for revenge. He married Edgar's sister, Isabella, but he did not love her. He only wanted to hurt Edgar, to destroy his life as his own had been destroyed. Isabella soon realized she had made a terrible mistake by marrying Heathcliff. Life with him became a living hell, and she fled, leaving him alone. But even her escape did not soften Heathcliff. His soul was completely consumed by darkness, and he began planning his next moves. He did not stop his revenge with just Edgar and Hindley. His eyes turned to the next generation. He forced Catherine's daughter, also named Catherine, to marry his weak and sickly son Linton, born from his marriage to Isabella. He wanted to ruin their lives as his own had been ruined, not realizing that in the end, he was destroying himself. But even after becoming the master of 2 estates, even after fulfilling his revenge, Heathcliff found no peace. His soul was tormented, his heart empty. He often wandered the moors, hoping to see the ghost of his beloved Catherine. His obsession with her spirit became his last refuge.
I cannot live without her. She calls me, her shadow haunts me. Why am I still here? Why can't I go to her?
In the end, Heathcliff was found dead in his room. His face was peaceful, as if he had finally found what he had been searching for all his life. But his spirit, it was said, never found rest. The ghosts of Heathcliff and Catherine were often seen on the moors, forever wandering, bound together by an unbreakable chain of love and hate. And so ended the story of Wuthering Heights, a story of love too strong for this world, and of revenge that consumed everything in its path. The house, once full of life, now stood abandoned and empty, filled only with the echoes of the past, which would never be forgotten.
Wow, what a dark and creepy story. Gives you chills, doesn't it? Stories like this can still be found even today. I definitely wouldn't want to meet or fall in love with someone so obsessed. How about you? Did you enjoy this odd love story? Write your comments below. Don't leave now, let's learn new words. Wuthering Heights. This is the name of the dark and mysterious house where the story takes place. It refers to a place that is exposed to strong winds and harsh weather. Revenge. It means taking action to hurt someone who has hurt you, as a way to get back at them. Example, Heathcliff returned, rich and dangerous, with revenge burning in his heart. Jealousy. It is the feeling of being unhappy or angry because someone has something you want or because they are close to someone you care about. Example, his heart was full of jealousy and envy, and this hatred only grew stronger after Mr. Earnshaw died. Envy. It means wanting something that someone else has, often causing unhappiness or resentment. Humiliating. It means making someone feel ashamed or foolish, often in public. Example, Hindley mistreated him, forcing him to do dirty work and humiliating him in every way. Soulmate, it refers to someone with whom you have a deep and natural connection, often believed to be destined to be together. Example, he is my soulmate. But I can't marry him. Overheard, it means to hear something that was not meant for you to hear, usually by accident. Example, Catherine's words tore Heathcliff apart when he accidentally overheard them. Pregnant, it describes a woman who is expecting a baby. Example, meanwhile, Catherine became pregnant and soon fell ill. Betray, it means to be disloyal or unfaithful to someone who trusts you. Example, you betrayed me, but I cannot forget you. Tangled, it means twisted together in a messy or complicated way. Example, the lives of its inhabitants were tangled together like the roots of trees hidden in the ground. Mysterious, it describes something that is difficult to understand or explain, often because it is secret or unknown. Example, he was wild and mysterious, just like the forest behind the house. Tormented, it means to suffer from extreme mental or physical pain. Example, his soul was tormented, his heart empty. Obsessed, it means to be constantly thinking about something or someone, often to an unhealthy extent. Example, his obsession with her spirit became his last refuge. Despair, it means a complete loss of hope. Example, Heathcliff sneered, watching Hindley sink into despair. Abandoned, it means left alone without care or support, often in a place that is empty. Example, the house, once full of life, now stood abandoned and empty.